I think there was food. Food was always at the center of this book. And there's an old cook in the book. And I remember, another of the opening scenes is when the grandfather dies. In the early scenes when the grandfather dies, then the neighbors think of stealing the cook, because the cook has this repertoire of dishes that everybody wants. And that's something I also remember all through my childhood, all through my come back to India. Everybody wants to poach somebody else's cook at any given opportunity. And writing about food is a way to write about, is also a way to write about, it immediately exposes the culture of a family, how westernized it is or not. What is the mixture of food on the table? Are you having an omelette, a cheese omelette along with an idli, or a dhokla with an omelette? What are the mixtures of things on the table? How are the children being brought up? And also table manners, exactly how people eat. It immediately reveals your background. It reveals class, it reveals so much, your culture of a family. And also the bewilderment of traveling abroad, and there was a passage that I took out about Sunny being just furious at having to eat plain cheese pizza and not understanding how this could be considered something you would want to eat. So it was a way for me to travel in many different directions. Yeah. Absolutely, I did change, and I think a lot of the experiences entered this book, and perhaps I needed to experience some things. I had to live some life before I could write some of the scenes. For example, Sonia's father, who falls ill and dies during the pages of this book. And of course, that's a huge experience that all of us will go through and have to go through. And when my father passed, for me it was also, I also felt as if I was losing India in a way, because for as long as he was on his terrace in Horse Khas in Delhi, I was still able to go home. And perhaps some of this book is also, it carries through from the grandparents to the parents to Sonia and Sunny's generation. And I felt like something very precious about India is being lost with this older generation passing, because they were born in British India. They saw so much. Many of them were larger than life characters, and many of them, I think, were so upright, in their thinking and in the way they lived their lives and in their principles. And I think of my father, who used to, studied abroad, came back to India, and he would he'd wear a poncho, which he had bought when he was traveling on he traveled through Latin America, and he would sit in the winter time on his rooftop in Delhi, wearing his poncho and listening loudly to Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan and Abida Parveen and Noor Jahan and Dagar Brothers, and just turning up the volume. And I would go back and sit on the rooftop with him. And this book is dedicated to him because I owe him that connection, continuing connection to India, which allowed me to write this book.